Hello everyone, Death Demon Oi here. Welcome to my playthrough of Mega Man 5 for the Nintendo system, entertainment system. I almost said Super Nintendo. Oh my god. So basically, if you didn't get what all was summed up in the cutscene there, apparently the world is being attacked by vicious robots again. Go figure. And as our job, it's our job to stop the robots, save the world, and also rescue Dr. Light, who's been captured by a seemingly Proto Man, who is also apparently behind everything. So, our pick for our robot masters this game is Stone Man, Gravity Man, Crystal Man, Napalm Man, Gyro Man, Star Man, Wave Man, Charge Man. We're gonna go with Wave Man first, since he's, in my opinion, the easiest of the bunch to take out. And then we get to admire the beautiful soundtrack which his stage is comprised of. Also, I'm playing this on controller, so it gives me a more authentic feel, I would say. I went in the hole. Man, I wanted to go in that other one, because it can give you an extra life, but yeah. These enemies are immune to buster bullets and basically anything, save for one thing if you get all 8 collectibles in this game, because yes, there are collectibles in this game that you can get. And to get them, you have to basically get plates that spell out Mega Man 5. Get all of them and you get a special weapon unique to only getting all of those things. But yeah, basically the gimmick gives enemies that can't be destroyed and steam. Oh yeah, and bubbles rising, as you can see right now. Ride these bubbles to the top to like get higher. The small bubbles will break after some time once you jump on them. But the big bubbles will last until they hit a spike or something. And now say hello to the dreaded bike section. This section will cause great pain to those who aren't ready for this. And we also will see a collectible later on in this specific segment, so stay with us. As you can tell, there are enemies in your path that you can either destroy or outright evade. For the Sniper Joes that come from behind you, want to just destroy them as soon as possible. But for the dolphins and these little penguin looking things, just avoid them. And now say hello to the mid-boss. It was actually somewhat quite challenging if you don't know where to hit him. The weak spot is his head, so shoot that enough, he'll explode and then you can continue on. Avoid the Sniper Joes, or destroy them. You can also destroy the dolphins if you wish, but I usually find no point in doing that. So yeah, continue taking out all the enemies until no more remain. And then get ready, because one of the next segments is going to be one of the collectibles. Grab it, and you have obtained the letter E. Very useful. So yeah, continue until you reach all the way to the end here. And then all you should need to do is just kill the enemy outside this door. Destroy him, and you make it all the way to the boss door. Say hello to Wave Man, and then watch as he pathetically tries to drown you in water. And somehow succeeds, apparently. Also, I am sorry about that lag spike there, since it was probably a lag spike. But yeah, the key is to like jump before he summons his wave, so that way you can kind of tell where it's gonna go. Also, jump before he fires his harpoon, so that way you have the best chance to avoid it. And he's dead. One of the easiest bosses down. Now I have 8 more bosses to go. Now say hello to Water Wave, which is literally a very useless weapon. It's basically a floor-crawling set of waves that block projectiles and do weak damage. Really not worth it in the long run, so that's something you kind of want to not use, but I guess if you want a challenge, go ahead and try and use that. Up next, we're taking out Starman. So obviously, like the name implies, we'll go into space. And this stage actually has somewhat good music. I will admit to that. So in this first segment, you have to kind of deal with asteroids in your path. After that, you have to deal with these enemies, and this other enemy that seems to love giving himself brain damage. You also have to fight these turrets, which shouldn't be too much of a challenge. Ow. Oh yeah, I should also point out, Mega Man has a different charge shot this time around. And yes, he does have a charge shot still. Because after 4, they never removed it except in Mega Man 9 and 10, which I will get to playing sometime in the future. So continue on into the space base. Carefully get the M. Watch as this Met tries to push into you, somehow succeeds, and then, yeah. Oh yeah, also life drops are generous here. I guarantee by the time we make it to the Proto Man stages that we're gonna have more than enough lives to finish everything off. Alright, so continue up the ladder. And yeah, more about the charge shot is, it's much bigger this time around, but it does have a downside. If you take damage while charging it, you lose the charge buildup. And you have to charge it up all over again, so I'll say it's a nice little way to counteract the whole big charge shot thing. I slid. Even though I didn't want to exactly slide, I did anyway. So anyway, say hello to this section with pit hopper enemies, even though they're not really in pits. But they're still annoying to deal with. Make it past this and say hello to the final section of boss door. Make it past all that, and you get to meet the boss himself, Starman. If you want some advice, pull out your trusty water wave and drown him in the water, which apparently goes through barriers which would normally be otherwise inaccessible to bypass. I am finding weird ways to word all of this. Ah! And Starman's down. Well, another of the easiest bosses taken out. And we have a lot more easy bosses to go. So yeah, Star Crash. Not really a good weapon, but it's good for if you don't want to take a hit. Basically Skull Barrier, but you can fire it. Oh, by the way, we also get Super Arrow from Starman, so that's something. That's a somewhat useful weapon, being able to be used as a platform, much like Magnet Beam, but it actually moves. And it can also be used offensively, so there's that. So now, once you've acquired Star Crash into your arsenal of awesome weapons, take your newfound toy into Gravity Man stage, and make him see stars. So obviously, as the name implies, Gravity Man stage is all about flipping gravity. These arrows will indicate which way the gravity goes. Keep this in mind, because as you can see the arrows change here, which means the whole stage's gravity changes. And as such, enemy attacks will also change, for the most part. And yes, And yes, you'll have to hold the up key as slide rather than the down key. Rather confusing for players who have actually done long time Mega Man, but I suppose if, you know, gravity's changed, that would mean your controls would also change. And down we go! Those are spikes. Yeah, just be careful of the spikes. Not really exactly good for the whole Mega Man body, because as longtime Mega Man fans will know, spikes will instantaneously kill Mega Man on contact, so best to avoid them if possible. Also, this thing is a power muscler. You can take it out, but it's advised that you just get away if possible. Gyro attack is the best weapon to use on it, but obviously we only get that from Gyro Man, so that's kind of not in our best interest to fight that thing right now, obviously. So yeah, make it farther into the stage, and eventually you'll find a lot of gravity flipping being done. Make it even farther, and you'll find these annoying little, I want to say, actually I don't know what these enemies are called. And I slid! Gotta love when up is considered to be the slide button now. Oh well. We're pretty close to the boss door. However, some quick thinking will result in, you know, us not dying. That and accidental button pressings should probably be avoided. Ah. I actually destroyed the power muscler. But yeah, collect all of these random letters you find throughout the stages. There are 8 of them, because 8 stages, 8 letters. Collect all of them, and you get a special weapon. What it is, though, I will leave that a mystery up until we actually get it. And this time I just gotta not be dumb. I slid again! How? Jeez. Honestly, at this point, it might just be my fault, because it may just be the directional pad on my Xbox controller that I'm using for this. And Power Muscle's dead. It's a very durable enemy, so don't expect to take it out all the time. Like, seriously, you will find this thing everywhere in the later stages because of how durable it is. Hiya! Man, explosions are everywhere in this game. Actually, wait, no, that might be next game I'm thinking of then. Then again, Mega Man 6 never really had that many explosions, so... Okay, as much as I don't want to do this, I'm gonna hold down jump for that. That feels wrong though. Oh yeah, you also flip gravity one more time before you enter, so make sure you take out Star Crash for this, as it's this boss's weakness. Plus it can also cancel out his fire as well, so yeah. As you'll notice, the boss will use a buster of sorts to just kind of take out Mega Man, while also changing the gravity at will. The buster doesn't do that much damage, so take out Gravity Man at your leisure. Gravity Man is actually really not that hard of a boss, but like most easy bosses, his weapon is really not that good. I say most because some easy bosses do have really good weapons, like Mega Man 2's Metal Blade, and Mega Man 3's top spin, even though that was glitchy in other versions of the game. But I digress, it's a good weapon. So now that you've obtained Gravity Hold into your arsenal, send Gyro Man down into the ground with it. Yes, I'm making a pun every time we go to a new Robot Master. That's the law. You can't say anything about it. So yeah, this area takes place in a hanging garden, I think? I don't know, if it's not an Olive Garden, I want nothing to do with it, but I suppose we have no choice. Yes, I had to make that joke, by the way. Ha! Alright. Those enemies are annoying only because they can get everywhere very quickly. Ow. Probably should have dodged a bit better there, but that's fine. These enemies are called lyrics, or lyrics, I guess. Whatever you want to go with. Ah. And yes, these you'll see those chicken enemies more often, depending on like what stage you're on. If you're in somewhere like say Charge Man stage, you'll see them everywhere. And it's ridiculous because of how much that enemy is used. So yeah, make your way up into the clouds, and make sure you take this middle path because this is by far the easiest path to take out. And then say hello to another power muscler. Ah. Luckily, he's pretty easy to take out because one, the platform was too high for him to jump on, even though he actually could have jumped on it if he had enough distance, so that wasn't the cause of it. But also, if a power muscle is in a tight space, it really can't go that far, so make sure you can get them into a tight space and then worry about them. I fell. I didn't think I activated that one. And as you can see, you have to get a letter from there. Pretty simple. Just need to make sure you time a jump absolutely perfect. Ah! Bro, what even? Well, I'm pretty sure I'm down to 1 life now. Oh no, I'm actually at... Never mind, I'm actually at 2. Jeez. Alright. So just kind of do this to kind of like keep your balance up. I somehow made that first try. This next section will be agony for new players who aren't used to the slide. Or not used to like controlling how high Mega Man jumps. And we've made it. So yeah, make your way over here, since that was the last elevator section of the game. Or not of the game, but of the stage. Ah. Words are coming out of my mouth and I can't control it. Alright, so make your way down here to the final section. Get an extra life apparently, because Mega Man 5's life drops are extremely lucky. And I'll say hello to Gyro Man, who was actually pretty easy of a boss to deal with. His gyro attack will aim depending on like where you are. So if you went below it, then yeah. So now it's time to pull out the... So I suppose it's time to pull out the new toy, Gravity Hold. This will hit Gyro Man from anywhere, even in the clouds. And it's also conveniently his weakness. And he has been flashed. No, basically what the whole purpose of not gyro hold. Gravity hold is basically it'll send enemies, especially weak enemies, into the sky and basically kill them. It's pretty powerful, but only on weak enemies, so really not that useful. Gyro attack, on the other hand, is very useful, being that you can aim it and it does a good amount of damage. So yeah. Up next, you're going to want to take out Crystal Man to cut up his precious little crystals. Doing this will, in turn, make Crystal Man very angry, but we do not exactly care about Robot Master feelings in Mega Man games. Ah. So yeah, continue down into the crystal mines, I want to guess. So, here's some lore on the characters. I believe Crystal Man was made as like a money-making robot, so I don't know, he's built to make money. And this section is rather treacherous. For this first segment, you're going to want to go as soon as the first crystal drops. Say hello to Eddie, who's been missing. Well, not really missing, but he appeared in Mega Man World. He appeared in Mega Man 4, but he was very useless in that game. Let's be real. He could never give you anything good. So yeah, those Crystal Joes are immune to attack while they're charging up their attack. Once they fire, though, that's when you hit them. Those little enemies are basically crystal dusters, I want to say. Destroy the enemies up here. Say hello to the shield attacker's upgraded version. The whole ordeal with the shield attackers is they can only be attacked from the back, not the front. Ah. Now grab your E-tank and hold left. Because, for people who don't know, E-tanks restore all of the player's health in one go. However, Mega Man 5 adds a new tank to the ordeal. And Rush Coil, why are you useless here? You're supposed to be good. Yeah, say hello to the M-tank. This handy-dandy little tank will not only restore all of your health in one shot, it'll also restore all of your weapons as well. Only downside is it takes forever to do that. But it does have a nice little effect afterwards, being able to, well, I'm not actually going to say, but it does have something to do with extra lives, I'll say that much. So yeah, make your way past the floor crawlers, and we're very close to the boss door, so fall down this final hole, and you should be, yep, we are here. Ah! Yep, make your way past. And say hello to Crystal Man. So now, obviously, Crystal Man, he looks weird with a big forehead. Basically what he'll do is he'll fire off 4 small crystals that bounce around the room. And afterwards, he'll occasionally jump and fire a crystal shot at you, which deals alright damage, I want to say, but honestly, it's not as bad as it could have been. So the whole idea of Crystal Man is whenever he jumps low like that, he'll always fire out a crystal shot. But when he jumps high, he'll always fire out his crystal eye attack. Know this and learn how to dodge. Once you learn how to dodge, you can take out Crystal Man and gain the utterly useless Crystal Eye. Yes, a lot of weapons in this game are useless. That's a common trend here. But yeah, Crystal Eye is basically you fire off a giant crystal ball that, if it hits a wall, it'll split into 3 smaller crystals that bounce around the room. As such, the big crystal would normally do good damage, but oh wait, no it doesn't. It only does that in Mega Man 8-Bit Deathmatch. playthrough gameplay content of that may not be coming out soon. Anyways, take your newfound crystal eye into Napalm Man to plug up the stupid hole on his forehead. Ah! Careful, these tigers will try and pounce on you. But you gotta not let them do that. And they'll pounce on you whenever you try to, fire a shot. So learn when to effectively know when the safe time is to actually shoot them, and you can proceed without any worries. These drills will insta-kill you if you hit them. However, they can be destroyed pretty easily with the Mega Buster, so learn to evade or shoot before they kill you. Continue up this very suspicious ladder, and wonder how you get this E-tank in the wall. Well, I'll tell you, these walls are not actually walls. The walls are fake. So once you learn that the walls are fake, expect this trend to be a common thing in this game. And take out the helicopter Joe, that's all I ask. The helicopter Joe is very annoying and will basically be a huge nuisance if you let it live. Or if you're like me, you could just escape the ladder. Eddie, I hate you sometimes. So yeah, continuing up the ladder, we have this enemy, who does not seem to want to take a hint that, I need to get by. Ah. So yeah, you can only hit it in the head, and even then, the arms will sometimes block the shots. That or the thing's hitbox is so weird and janky that... But yeah, they're actually not as durable as, like, say, the power musclers, which are very, very durable. Oh, ow. Well played, Mega Man 5, but also why? Also, Return of the Missiles. Learn when to dodge and when to actually destroy the missiles. That's all I have to say on this. Like here, it's ideal if you destroy the missiles. Ow. Ow! Slide past these set of spikes. And be careful when you take a step, because the pit hoppers will be quick to send you to your doom if you're not careful. They'll be quick to send you to your doom.wad. Ah, funny Doom reference. Anyways, once you've made it past this, you can take out Napalm Man. It was strangely one of the easier bosses that actually has a good weapon. So yeah, take out Crystal Eye, and one might argue that hitting him directly with it is a good way to go, but in my opinion, hitting it against the wall and then having it bounce around the room gives you a higher chance for you to actually hit him. And we're dead! Yay! Like I said, take out Crystal Eye and use it to kill Napalm Man. I don't think more should be said than that. So yeah, Napalm Man will always do a low jump whenever he fires out missiles, and he'll always do a high jump whenever he fires out his napalm bombs, which are those little explosive peanut looking things. They're actually a pretty useful weapon. So yeah, take out Napalm Man and Napalm Bomb will become yours. Basically what it is those explosive little peanut looking bombs that Napalm Man fires out. They're basically sticky little bombs filled with napalm, and the explosive power is very powerful. Yeah, very useful for taking out things such as power musclers and basically tankier enemies that couldn't be taken out before. So obviously, now that you have bombs in your possession, take it out to the robot master who would seem most vulnerable to them, which would literally be a pile of bricks. So Stone Man is assigned to oversee Gyro Man's successful capture of the Hanging Gardens, which basically takes place on a mountain. So I guess the two kind of correlate to each other. Ground and air. I swear, there's always something to do with ground and air, whether it's in Pokemon or what. I swear. Like, I swear to bejesus. Ugh. So yeah, the whole gimmick for this stage is the Mets will in turn, you know, once you shoot them, they will explode into smaller Mets that do explode after a while, but they're really hard to destroy. Also, this wall is not a wall. Take this slide and obtain your G plate. One to go until we get the special weapon. Like the special weapon. So yeah, go up this ladder before the Met shoots you. And then move quickly to dodge the rest of the enemies in this stage. Now that you've dodged all of the stuff, you should be able to go up the ladder and progress as normal. Get the health here if you really want to, or if you really need it. But so far I seem to be keeping a rather steady balance of health. Also, the charge shot here is really powerful, so much so that most players normally just do buster only runs, which honestly wouldn't be really hard. These rip-off batons are really not that difficult, by the way. Also, here's a secret in the wall here. Now this is the secret effect of the M-Tank. Use it when all of your gauges are full and you'll hear a sound. This sound is the sound of you getting an extra life. So basically what this is, it turns every weak enemy on screen into an extra life. But the funny thing about this stage is this place actually has an M-Tank already, so that's why I decided to use it there. So yeah, go and get your M-Tank back. And now you have some extra spare lives. Pretty helpful trick. I swear words are spilling out of me and they make no sense. Again, that's most life, isn't it? Okay, so obviously take out these little shield attacker enemies. Alright. So now that shield enemy's out of the way, you're wondering how to get this extra life. Well, this time there's no wall to. At least not there. What you're going to want to do is use Rush Coil, jump up, and then grab the life from there. And then just proceed with the stage as normal. Now this area can be a bit fickle if you don't have experience with like aiming or anything. But if you're like me, then you can pretty much take this stage out reliably. Now you can get an E-Tank here, but you just kind of have to be careful about how you do it. However, if you're like me and you screw up, then you'll have to go back and reset the whole platforms. And you'll have to do this as many times as you wish. I somehow got the E-Tank. It somehow counted even though I fell off the platform immediately. Ah, that spawned way too fast for my liking. It should be fine to go through now. Hello, Eddie, what do you have for me? Eddie, I swear to God, you are a failure sometimes. But yeah, there's another secret in this wall here. Destroy it and find these things. And it's a good thing that you take those, because this is, ironically, the last screen before the boss door. So once you make it here, go as slow as you need to, because there's no rush. There's never any rush in the Mega Man game. And don't get swarmed by the enemies on screen. Don't be intimidated by them either. They're really not that hard. Take out the last tool and run to the door. Then switch to Napalm Bomb and prepare for a destructive fight, as Stone Man will literally crumble. Yes, he literally crumbles whenever he lands from a high jump. Obviously, Napalm Bomb is his weakness, being made of stone and bricks and all. So yeah, whenever he does a high jump, he'll always shatter, leaving him open for attack. Oh, did I say leaving him open for attack? I meant when he reforms from crumbling, because apparently you can't break him when he's already broken. Makes sense, I guess. So, regardless, we got Stone Man out of the picture. Now we have Power Stone at our disposal, which many people say it's useless. I happen to find it pretty useful, because honestly, all it is just a matter of aiming it right. Wish it did more damage though. That's the only reason people find Power Stone useless, is because people can't aim it. It's just like, if you're gonna call a weapon useless, at least have a valid reason, and don't blame it because of how finicky it is to aim. I find myself being able to hit things all the time with it. Plus it actually has a fair amount of ammo, so there's that. Like seriously, look at this. See? People literally hating on a weapon for no reason. Bah! Yeah, this stage has to be my favorite one out of the bunch, because of how just, like, it's based off a train. That's all it needs to be said. It's based off of a train. Like, no, it's not even based off of a train. It is a train. Train levels are cool. Also, look at that scrolling. It looks beautiful. Like, seriously. All the rickety bumps and stuff actually makes it feel like you're actually on a train. Gotta give props to Mega Man 5 for having basically realistic things. So yeah, make your way inside the train. And this is where we pull out Napalm Bomb to take out these things. It won't destroy them in one hit, but it will destroy a lot of, like, smaller enemies in one hit. So yeah. That summoned 2 enemies. Hole up. Boom. Yeah, suffice to say, Napalm Bomb is one of the better weapons of this game. Uh-oh. Ah! That enemy came back from off screen. I take great offense to this. And then, I guess just use Rush Coil to get this last letter. And behold, you've completed the entire letter set. And now you can say hello to Beat. What is Beat, you wonder? Well, he's a little attack bird that will attack any enemy on screen. He's very useful. So yeah, train stopped, and now the train's going again. You can't fire charge shots while you're doing this though, so that's the only downside. Yeah, this is your reward for, you know, taking out literally for getting literally all of the plates in the game. And B is pretty strong too, so don't have to worry about that. Like, seriously. He's a motorboat who will literally take out any enemy that you wish a death upon. So yeah, make it down here, and you only have to deal with one more of these things before taking on the boss. If you want my advice, use gyro attack for this. Which would only be helpful if, you know, I could actually aim it. There. So yeah, make your way to Charge Man and pull out the handy dandy Power Stone. Once there, Charge Man moves so fast, it's not pretty hard to like hit him with it. But a good strategy is just to be close to him and then set it off. Because then you have a very high chance of actually hitting him with it. I mean, that's what works for me. Also, yeah, he will try and ram you if you're not careful, so just be careful. And don't be stupid. Or impatient, for that matter. Oh yeah, he's also invincible when he's like ramming you, or when he fires off his little coal shots. But slam him with enough stones, and eventually your Charge Man will fall, giving you the final weapon of the game. Charge Kick. Basically, it allows you to slide, but the slide actually does damage. Oh, and also it makes you immune to some things, and allows you to slide through enemies. Overall, Charge Kick is a pretty good weapon. Like, seriously, this is one of the top tier weapons of the game. Not the best weapon, but it's up there. Now with that, it's time to go after Proto Man. So obviously, the styling is obviously based around Proto Man, so suffice to say, you might be here a while. But it's now time to take out the final stretch of the game. The tigers will return in this stage as well. So you just gotta be careful about that, and know how to effectively take him out. But if you've played Napalm Man stage, you should know how to take him out by now. And the only thing that changes about them is their colors, so don't worry about anything else and you'll be fine. I fell. Whoops. Not good. So continuing off from where we left off, literally not even 5 seconds ago, yeah, the stage is pretty easy to blow through. Just gotta be careful about your jumping. And know when to actually destroy enemies. That would also help. Most of the enemies here are actually pretty easy to destroy, dying in literally only a few hits. So yeah, climb up the ladder and ascend. Now you just have to time to jump carefully. And then use Super Arrow for the first time. Once you do that, continue using the Mega Buster and just proceed as normal. I will refill Super Ammo though. Oh, Super Arrow. I said Super Ammo. Oh my god. I am El Stupida! Alright, so up next, Rush Jet this section. Just make sure you don't summon Rush too high. I'm flying through the stage. I'm no longer flying through the stage. Star Crash, because why not? Yeah, Star Crash is pretty useless of a weapon. And it's much preferred to use weapons such as Napalm Bomb or Heck, even gyro attack, or power stone for that matter. Literally any other weapon than Star Crash is good. So yeah, make it past the giant Dachone, since that's literally what it's called. And then say hello to the Yoku block section of the stage. This Yoku block section is pretty easy to take out if you know what to do. But then again, that's with most Yoku block sections. My advice is just be freaking careful. Yeah, it's always preferred to use a weapon like Rush Jet there. Just that way you don't have to really deal that much with the Yoku blocks. I suppose if you do want a challenge, you could do it without the Yoku, or not the Yoku blocks, but the whatchamacallit, the Rush Jet, yeah. I swear, I have the brain of a goldfish sometimes, it's ridiculous. But yeah, Rush Jet your way across the pit if you don't feel like actually doing anything of value. I would be careful once the Yoku blocks actually kick in, because then they can stop you. Oh dear. Yeah. Yeah, we may be here a while. But yeah, destroy the giant Dachone again. And then make your way up. Ah. Ah. You know, maybe Rush Jet might, or not Rush Jet, but Rush Coil might be better for this. What? What? How? I fell through him! How did I fall through Rush Coil? Rush, why have you become an ethereal entity from another dimension? Good thing we packed up all those extra lives, because apparently we're gonna need them. Okay, so I guess just summon him on this platform, if he wants to be a ghost. Oh, God. No, you're not going in the spikes. You can't be trusted on the spikes. There. God, Rush Coil takes so much ammo. And it's not even good in this game. I guess if you really want to, you can use Gyro Attack for this section. Also, don't worry about these enemies. They really won't do much besides annoy you. Once you made that, say hello to Proto Man's latest creation, Darkman 1. There are 4 Darkmen. They were all created by Proto Man. And Water Wave is this guy's weakness, so... Ah. Obviously, he gets faster with the lower health he has, which is a trait that you'll see in the rest of the Darkmen, except for 3 and 4. That's when the trait starts to wear off. Anyways, 1 stage down, many more to go. And by many more, I mean like 3 or so. Okay, so my advice here, if you really want my advice here, use your M-Tank here. Or not, actually use it on the first screen here. Trust me, you'll see why in a few moments. So yeah, it'll fill up all of your stuff. and you'll see that a new M tank has mysteriously appeared. What you'll want to do now is basically just fire off Mega Buster shots, destroy those enemies, and get your other M tank, because this ceiling is not actually a ceiling. Rush, I don't like you sometimes. By the way, only Beat can destroy those little things. That's kind of why I was so hype on getting him. Once again, you're gonna need to pull out Rush Coil for this, because apparently just use Gravity Hold to get rid of everything on that one section if enemies are crowding you. But yeah, Gravity Hold will work best on enemies who are like airborne. Try and use this to your advantage as much as possible. Now this next segment is pain. You have to make your way to the ladder. And no, you cannot fall off the platform. This is why. Spikes, spikes, and even more spikes. Basically, the whole area is layered with spikes. My advice, just try not to get hit. And don't be like me and suck. Once you've made it, use Rush Coil, ascend again, use Gravity Hold again to take out the enemies again. By the way, those train mets are only available to attack once you open the shield. Or the helmet, I guess. Why did I think Power Stone would be good for this? Speaking of things that would be good for this, if you want my advice, summon your little bird friend on the next screen to help you out. Because there will be enemies trying to shoot you down like crazy. Also, make sure you keep an eye on where the conveyor belts are facing. Because some will move you backwards, some will move you forwards. Others will just probably outright kill you. Okay, not that last one. But the other ones, yes. But I've never seen a conveyor belt instantaneously kill someone, so don't worry about that. It won't happen. It will never happen. Trust me, this is 100% true. You'll be fine. Alright. Continuing on. Time to use the ever useless not gyro attack, but crystal eye. Crystal eye is actually pretty good to use in this room, but it seems to be in this room only. Just because of how everywhere things can be. Okay, so plan B. If you want my advice, pick up Star Crash. Because it'll actually destroy the enemies here in one hit, so... It's something I didn't really think of until now, so... So yeah, make your way through, and climb up the ladder past the scary gate of doom. If you want my opinion, the best medical opinion is napalm bomb. Wait for that guy. Shoot this one if you really want to, even though it might be a waste of... Wait, did I kill him before it even made him activate? Hold up. I'm pretty sure I might have been seeing things, but I'm not sure. Ooh, this might be worth it. Hey, I made it. Nice. The health is much easier to get because there's a little pause before you actually heal up all the way, so you can use that time to evade. Also, yes, you can use Rush Jet to get across this little segment here, and get the extra life if you so choose to. Once you do that, say hello to the enemies that literally like to give themselves brain damage. However, this time around, they don't exactly want to be messing around with you. Perhaps Gyro Attack would be good for this. Yeah, Gyro Attack is a good thing to use for that, but I wouldn't recommend using it too much, as it's one of your greatest assets in this game, so... Like, in this room here. So yeah, obviously continue going through this very gray stage. This room is more than annoying. And we're dead! Wonderful. At least you respawn here, which is really not that far off from where you were before, so... Better than having to do that Rush Jets, well, not the Rush Jet segment, the Conveyor Belt segment again. Ugh. So yeah, obviously make your way up, up and up. Using Mega Buster is your best bet against these guys. You might want to use Star Crash for this. Never mind. What I meant to say is you want to use Gravity Hold for this. And you might want to also use Charge Kick, because why not? So obviously, try and conserve as many weapons as possible. You never know when you're going to need them. So obviously, Charge Kick will instantaneously destroy those stupid little tigers. And now you're at the boss door. Pull out your Mega Buster, because apparently this is the best thing to use on it, and say hello to Darkman 2, who is literally incapable of jumping. But he does have shields, so... which do block your projectiles, so that's something to worry about. But as long as you know when to shoot him, when the shields are like closest to each other, they're kind of like imitating the fact that they're like rotating. And by the way, Darkman 2 gets faster with each passing shot you get at him. Lower health he has, the faster he gets, and the more swiggity swooty he gets. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. But kill him and you eventually progress. So yeah, continuing on with the Proto Man stages. Up next, we should face the third Dark Man in the next stage. However, we will have to be somewhat more cautious about this, because it's the return of these things that no one likes. Seriously, why do they exist if no one likes them? They're so easy to kill. So amen for that. Now once you've done this, make your way up. Now this next section can be a little bit tricky, as it's platforming with a hint of spikes added in. Now it's platforming with a whole lot of spikes added in. Yeah, make your way past that, and you should make it to this little segment here. Here you will have to face the mature cannons again. Not too problematic. Also, yeah, stand in that narrow little hallway there, or the little just gap there, I want to say. I'm not sure what you call those. So yeah, take this time to like refill any weapons you need to. And proceed up the ladder. Gyro attack is undoubtedly the best weapon used on that, because it can literally save your bacon if you cannot aim at all. So this next little segment is a little interesting. I kind of like it. We really don't need the E-tank, so I'm just gonna keep going. If I somehow have to end up back here, I might end up getting it, but there's a good chance that unless I like lose a life, there's a good chance that I won't be coming back to this stage. Ah, let me go down. Oh yeah, by the way, Return of the Power Muscler, because so many people wanted these to return. Just use Charge Kick to slide past them. Because it will not only damage them heavily, but it also allows you to slide through them. Ah! Boom. So that was definitely worth it. Alright, and once you've done that, say hello to yet another Power Muscler! Remember that part where I said these start appearing everywhere in later stages? This is what I meant. Ah. Those little things won't really do much to you, but I would destroy them just to be safe. They will stop directly in front of you though, most of the time. And you're at the boss door. So now, your best bet, Mega Buster. Not because he doesn't have a weakness, but because it's just literally the best thing to use on him. So yeah, Darkman 3 will fire out paralysis rings of sorts. The best way you dodge him is you trick him into firing up. That's the best way you do things. And the best time to jump to do this is when he starts flashing. And he's dead. Literally the easiest one. But I suppose there are 4 stages, so we have to face one more Darkman. Right? After all, it is Proto Man's face, so there's a chance that we may actually find Proto Man there. So yeah, the thing about this stage is you have to destroy these blocks, that way it makes the stage go up. Ah. And you've made it all the way up, enter the boss door, and it's Proto Man. It does look a little different though, and why does his whistle sound off? Because apparently he's turned on you, shoots you, and now he leaves you at 1 health. But now the real whistle comes in, and it's the real Proto Man. Because guess what? This guy was a fake. And Proto Man comes to save your day. I didn't think that could happen in the game, where you literally shoot a shot off and then he bounces off of you. That's new. But yeah, basically, Darkman 4. Pretty easy, if you ask me. I wouldn't recommend shooting him while he has his shields up, though. I recommend waiting until he actually dismounts them and then fire, because otherwise you might get caught in the crossfire of his buster. So yeah, just kind of be patient. Don't overestimate. And Darkman 4 is down. Pretty simple, and no damage whatsoever. However, now the real story kicks in. As a familiar foe, an all too familiar foe, suddenly starts speaking to Mega Man. Dr. Wily. So I'll let the whole story play through, because until now, he has managed to frame Proto Man for his crimes. Actually, wait, let me get my Wily voice on. Until now, I have managed to frame Proto Man for my crimes. Oh, I was too slow to read that. Dr. Light is a captain for my lab. Come if you dare. Ha ha ha. I should have done that sooner, actually. So it was Wily behind the whole Proto Man incident. So now we still have to save Light. Say hello to the Wily Castle 5. Because after all, it's no Mega Man game without Wily in it. That's just the whole gist of things now. Welcome to the first stage, which is really not that hard. Use your M-Tank here. And then scroll back on screen. Now you both have both an E-Tank and an M-Tank to grab. Bah. Yeah. So yeah, obviously spike platforming and purple. Lots of purple, apparently. I have no need for that big health. I haven't been damaged yet. But now I'm probably going to be, though. Because in this next section, you have to get on conveyor belts while being careful to not get shot at. But yeah, just kind of be careful and you'll eventually make it off. This is the perfect time to use gravity hold. And then just use Super Arrow, because apparently that's much cheaper than using Rush Coil. Now you have to get on these moving cogs to, like, do anything. Remember, these moving cogs will pull you just like a conveyor belt, because they, in turn, are essentially a conveyor belt. Ah... If you can make it up there, that's great. Ah! Yeah, you have to be careful on which way the thing moves. But it's convenient because the game respawns you here, so... no harm, no foul. If you want my advice, it's best to just keep jumping until you're ready to actually get on the thing! So yeah, just kind of time your jumps properly, and say hello to a familiar foe from Mega Man 4, the Crusher. Basically the same gist as before, but Mega Man 4 Mega Man 5 athized. And no, your charge shots do not pierce through the dust this time, so don't even think about trying to use that. In my opinion, Spam Buster works best. Where it's literally where you just spam your Buster. as fast as humanly possible. So, yeah, that's the whole idea of the Spam Buster. Sounds like something Spamton would use in, like, Deltarune. Yeah, destroy all the blocks, and can proceed very cautiously, because the Crusher is still deadly. Like, seriously, it's actually fatal to anyone caught in it. So yeah, what you're gonna want to do now is pull out Napalm Bomb. Boom, boom, boom! I love explosions. Ah! And then say hello to the final segment before the boss. I somehow did that. Alright. It's go time! So if I remember correctly, this boss is weak to Crystalline. Although we don't want to use that right off the bat, because this boss is conveniently named Big Pets, and the only way you can damage it is if you shoot out those platforms which it's made of, basically. So use those as platforms and then fire Crystalline at the head. But the only time Crystalline is actually useful, I swear. Ah! And we're dead! So much to keep a tally of, like, how many times I've died so far. At least I haven't game overed yet. Ow. So yeah, this boss is really not that difficult if you can prevent getting hit by, like, enemies and whatnot. And Big Pets is dead. On to the next Wily stage, which this one is much simpler than the last one. Basically being a rip from the first Wily stage of Mega Man 4, which was basically just a Met Waterwork thing. The end game is in sight, people. I wouldn't recommend doing a slide jump if you're not comfortable. Also, M-Tank here. Some of these wheels will be moving, but most of them won't be. Also, these Mets will not actually break into smaller Mets when they die. They will just explode. Ah, you know what? I'm glad you know what? If I just take damage, it's fine. I'd much rather just take damage and fall into a pit and not have any chance of recovering. Which is very possible, because in this game, if you might have noticed, they actually finally removed Rush Marine. So its usefulness is no longer existent. Okay, so now that you're out of the waterworks section, you can make your way as normal. Ah. Yeah, the main enemy of this stage is the Mets. The sheer amount of Mets. It's all about the Mets, baby. So yeah, continue on as normal. Pull out Napalm Bomb and take out this little rat thing. Or is it a mouse? Either way, it's dead. That's what it is. And then proceed as normal. Make sure to scroll the camera if you don't like camera weirdness. And perform the infamous chicken dance. And yep. There is no Yoku block in this section. Although it may look like there is, there's really not. Rush Jet is the best idea to use here because... Not the best idea, but the best thing to use here. So yeah, destroy that thing, get Gyro Attack ready to use, because the next boss you're going up against is the Circling Q9. Now, this thing can only be damaged once it opens its ring. So as you can tell, obviously go nuts once it opens its ring, but be careful because it can shoot projectiles, not to mention it can also ram into you. Oh yeah, it can also shoot you from a little lip in its mouth. Ah. Sliding can help you avoid the thing, obviously, because sliding can help you avoid everything in the games. But yeah, Circling Q9 is no more. Pretty simple boss. I like it. On to the next Wily stage. Now this one is a very short trek, being the infamous Robot Master refights. I'm gonna use my M-Tank. Just because I don't want to be caught with my pants down, you know? We won't be needing Rush Coil for the game after this, I'm pretty sure, so... Just using Mega Buster for that thing. And say hello to the Robot Master refights. Let's just get this over with quickly. And I intend to use the Mega Buster on everyone. Just kind of conserve weapon ammo and prove that I am actually good at the video game. So obviously Gravity Man is the same as normal. And obviously he has a pretty simple pattern. And also Wily really didn't really put that much effort into the boss rematches either. So on to the easiest Robot Master. For me, obviously. So. By the way, if I didn't already show it, Wave Man's weakness is Charge Kick. Kind of basically creating a perfect flow of things. So yeah, Wave Man's down. 6 bosses left. Stone Man. It's actually quite a challenge with just the Mega Buster. So gotta give him props for that. So yeah, pretty simple. Up next is Starman, who again, also pretty easy. You can only hit him when his shield is down though. Any other time it's just a no-go. Ah, I slid. Ah. Dismount your shield already. Alright, Starman's down. 4 bosses left. And I believe this was Gyro Man. Yep. Gyro Man is actually pretty simple to take out with just the Buster. Just have to know how to dodge his gyro attacks. It's preferred if you jump, since he'll fire them less if you jump. For some reason. I think it's because the game has to wait for Gyro Man to despawn his gyro attack before he actually fires it off. At least that's what I want to say is happening. Might be wrong about that. Capcom devs, get back to me on that, will you? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's just a series of waiting for Gyro Man's singular gyro attack to just go off screen before it actually allows him to fire another one. Kind of like with Mega Man's whole weapon ordeal, where you can only have a certain amount of weapons on screen. Ah! Man, he's ramming me, but good. However, I know how to take out Charge Man, so bye-bye. That was surprisingly much simpler than with the Power Stone. But I digress, it's time for Napalm Man. Ah. Ow. And we're done. Oh wait, we have to fight Crystal Man first. That's right. Alright, and then we're done. Ow. I never can usually no-hit Crystal Man. Because of how finicky his crystal eye can be. How very fickle. Alright, Crystal Man's down, on to Wily, who was weak to literally the worst weapon here, because of his terrible hitbox. But yeah, Star Crash will actually kill Wily pretty quickly. Yeah, you just have to be careful that it doesn't hit the bottom of his thing, otherwise it'll just bounce off like a bounce ball. Funny Mega Man 11 reference. But yeah, I digress. Once you take out Wily, you can progress to the final stage of the game. Because clearly, there was another stage on the screen, so... And Wily never gives up after all, so... Overall, pretty simple boss. Now on to the final stage of the game. This is where glory shines through. And everything goes down. No more Dechones after this. No more anything. Well, actually, there is one more Dechone. Also, gee, I wonder who made this level. But I suppose, pull out Super Arrow and prepare for the final fight. I was never actually really that good at this one. And behold, the final fight. The Wily Capsule 5. You are now forgiven if you use your E-tanks here. Not that this guy is hard or anything, but because it's literally the final boss. Like, final boss music has kicked in, people. It's go time. Sometimes Wily will be too high for you to hit, so just kind of gotta wait it out a bit. You'll get your shot at him, don't worry, because he will eventually come down. Even though if I was Wily, I would probably never come down, because you know, if I didn't come down, Mega Man could never hit me. But yeah, taking this guy out is usually no problem for me. Not to mention, if you use Gravity Hold, you'll actually see where he makes his next move at. So that way you can know whether or not it's alright for you to, see? Like that. Now I know to use Gyro Attack. Nice little exploit, but okay, we can use the Buster here. I'm not going to use the exploit too much since I still want it to be a challenge. One more hit and he's done. Bye, Wily. Why is he exploding in the capsule and also there? Yeah, Wily, you better run. I'm coming for you. Run, Wily, run. And that's it. It's game, people. Dr. Light is saved and the fortress begins collapsing. Except this time, we're stuck holding it. Wily, get back here, you coward. The Proto Man comes in clutch and saves the day, breaking the ceiling so that way Mega Man Light can get through before the ceiling crushes them. And then the Wily capsule escapes, and then the capsule destroys and Proto Man slips away. All with Dr. Light and Mega Man watching. And that's Mega Man 5, people. So, yeah. Good game. One of the best in the series, in my opinion. Weapons could have been better. I will say that much. Music, though, like, the music was especially good. Like, seriously, I could listen to that stuff all day. Is this still recording? Good. Because it's normally around here that my videos fizzle out. But yeah, you can see who made the Robot Masters. And like, yeah, just a whole bunch of stuff. But yeah, Mega Man 5 is one of the better games on the NES, if I'm being completely honest. Like, seriously, it's a great game, and I would highly recommend anyone who wants a decent challenge, or just like who wants like an easy time with Mega Man, play this game first. Like, it's pretty easy. Like, not too difficult, not too easy. Like, it strikes a somewhat fair balance. The Mega Buster is a little corny though, but I suppose you do lose your charge if you like get hit while building it. So I suppose that's something to like think about. Like, you have to not be too reckless with it, but you can be reckless with it. So with that, that's the end of Mega Man 5. And next time we do a Mega Man game, we're not exactly going to be doing it in the order you might think of. We're going to be taking a little look to the sidelines of Mega Man for a bit. Possibly starting off with a rather futuristic version of Mega Man. Yep. If you've ever played a certain familiar series, you immediately know what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, well, I support you, and I hope you stay tuned to see what I have next in store. But let's just say, the number 10 is pretty interesting, even if it's not in a letter form, or rather a number form. You'll see what I have planned, and you'll see what I have in store in the next game. So, with that, I bid you farewell, like I already said, for some reason. Yeah, make sure you, if you guys like the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let me know if you guys are hyped for the next thing I put out. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you, Beat, for being there, even though I only used it on one stage. Actually, quite a couple, but still, I digress. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye!